Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today you're joining us as we explore the pretty intricate world of Shaolin Kung Fu.
hmm
Specifically, we're going to delve into a really fascinating routine known as seven-star Mantis boxing White Ape giving presents to the mother.
That's right. And to guide us through this, we're using a detailed book. It's focused entirely on this specific routine, actually.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's part of a broader collection on Shaolin traditional Kung Fu, so it offers a real, insider's look.
Okay, so who wrote this book and, why should we pay attention?
Well, the author is Gang Jun. He also goes by the Buddhist name Shijun.
Oh, wait.
And he's not just someone who, read a few books. He's a 31st generation Shaolin disciple, a national wushu coach,
Wow.
and holds some really significant positions within Chinese martial arts organizations. His lineage and credentials, they really speak volumes.
So a real expert.
Definitely. He's been immersed in wushu since childhood, became a highly respected Shaolin monk, and has mastered loads of styles, including the Mantis boxing we're about to unpack.
And he writes about it, too.
Yes, he's published quite extensively, dedicated to sharing this knowledge.
Okay. So your mission, listener, should you choose to stay with us, and we think you will, is to get a solid understanding of the key parts of this particular Mantis boxing routine.
hmm
We're going to look at where it came from, its origins, and the fundamental elements that make it, well, unique.
Think of this as your personal shortcut, maybe, to appreciating the depth and history packed into this martial art. We'll be drawing directly from Gang Jun's expertise in the book.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Shaolin Kung Fu, it just sounds legendary. Where does a tradition like this even begin?
Well, Chinese wushu overall has an incredibly long and rich history.
Right.
And within that, Shaolin wushu is a real cornerstone. It originates from the famous Shaolin Temple in Henan province. We're talking about a continuous tradition stretching back over 1,500 years.
1,500 years.
Yeah.
That's hard to even wrap your head around. How did it start in the temple? Was it just for self-defense?
The general understanding is that it developed organically through the daily lives and the Buddhist practices of the monks generation after generation.
So not just fighting.
No, not solely about combat. It was intertwined with their physical conditioning, their discipline, their, pursuit of Buddhist teachings. It was really holistic.
That adds a whole different layer.
Yeah.
Now, seven-star Mantis boxing. How does that fit into this huge history? Is it newer?
It has its own fascinating origin story, yeah. And you're right, it's a more distinct lineage within the broader scope. It's generally credited to a guy named Wang Lang.
Wang Lang.
Right. He's said to have developed it during the early Qing dynasty. And the inspiration is pretty cool. He apparently spent a lot of time watching a praying mantis catch a cicada.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
He based a martial art on an insect. Like the bug with those super fast strikes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wang Lang was captivated by the mantis' speed, its unique hooking moves, its overall efficiency. So he took those observations and started incorporating those principles, those techniques, into his own martial art. The legend even says he spent about 3 years at the Shaolin Temple.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, learning from the monks there and further refining his mantis boxing style through that interaction.
Okay, so this white ape giving presents to the mother routine. Is that like a specific technique or maybe a set of movements that really shows off this mantis style?
Precisely. Think of it as a well-established and representative form or sequence within the larger system of seven-star mantis boxing.
Okay.
And the book we're using really emphasizes its key characteristics. It's known for its grace, for one.
Graceful. Like a mantis.
Well, yes, but also a balance of long-range and close-quarters actions, very harmonious hand and foot coordination, a clear, distinct rhythm.
Okay.
What's described as integral strength, meaning the whole body working as one and fully express force in its movements. Plus lots of hooking, grabbing, twining, closing movements. It's coherent, compact, changeable.
It sounds incredibly sophisticated. The name itself, White Ape Giving Presents to the Mother, is so evocative. Does the book say anything about what that means?
The book's main focus is really on the practical stuff, the techniques, how to do the moves.
Right.
But these names in martial arts, they're often packed with symbolism, They draw from nature, folklore, history.
Sure.
The white ape often suggests agility, cleverness, maybe a fluid grace, and giving presence to the mother. Well, that could imply actions that are careful, deliberate, maybe presented with precision, even reverence.
Interesting interpretation. Okay, so we have this rich history, an intriguing name. If someone grabbed this book, ready to learn, Where do they even start? What are the absolute basics?
Good question. The book wisely starts by laying a solid foundation. It uses both detailed illustrations, they call them figures, and very precise written descriptions for every single action.
Figures and words, got it.
And a core principle right from the start is coherent movement. It's not just about individual moves, but how they connect, how they flow.
Coherent movement that makes total sense. You can't just string together random actions and expect it to work, right?
Exactly. The book stresses that, unless it says otherwise, every part of your body should move together harmoniously.
Right.
It also sets up a standard way to talk about directions, front, back, left, right, so the instructions are super clear.
Like a precise language for movement. And the visuals help too.
Absolutely. To help you follow the sequence in the pictures, the book uses lines. They show the path and position change from one move to the next.
Okay.
And get this, broken lines show the left side's movement, solid lines show the right side's. It's all designed to be visually clear, easy to follow.
That sounds really helpful for seeing the flow, the transitions. Now, what about how you're standing? I guess your stance, your footwork, that must be absolutely crucial.
Oh, fundamental. Your stance is your base for power, for balance, for executing techniques properly. Shaolin Wushu in general has like 12 primary stances.
Wow.
Yeah, seems like a lot. But the book introduces several that are really key for this White Ape routine. The foundations, you could say.
Can you give us a couple of examples? What does the book highlight?
Certainly. One of the first is the bow stance. You can see it in figure 1. The description explains your feet are one in front of the other, about 4 or 5 foot lengths apart.
Okay.
The front leg is bent at the knee, maybe a 45-degree angle max, knee not past the toes usually. Back leg is stretched straight, sole turned inward, about 45 degrees.
I'm picturing that solid, facing forward front, knee bent, ready for power. What's another one?
Then there's the horse stance, figure 2. Very common, very stable, like you're riding a horse, basically.
Right, the classic one.
Feet parallel, maybe 2 to 3.5 foot lengths apart. Both knees bent, knees over the toes. Ideally, thighs almost parallel to the ground. Super strong, grounded base. You see it everywhere for building strength.
That wide, strong look.
Yep. The book also details the crouch stance, figure 3. This one's much lower, more demanding, almost like a deep lunge or split, but different.
One leg is bent a lot, thigh close to the lower leg, knee points out. The other leg is crouched low, maybe a 90-degree bend at the knee. Requires some serious flexibility, this one.
Sounds like a very low center of gravity, I imagine.
Precisely. And finally, just as another key example, the empty stance, figure 4, sometimes called cold chicken stance.
Yeah, okay.
Feet are in tandem, maybe 2 foot lengths apart, but most of your weight is on the back leg, which is bent. The front leg is just slightly bent, toe lightly touching the ground.
So light on the front foot.
Exactly. Allows for quick direction changes, a very light, ready posture.
It's fascinating how each stance serves a different purpose. Balance, power, readiness.
Okay, beyond standing, what about the hands? Are there specific hand shapes in Shaolin Wushu?
Oh, absolutely. Just as crucial as your stance. Shaolin Wushu commonly uses 3 main types of hand forms: fist, palm, and hook.
Okay.
But within each type, there are several distinct variations, each with its own specific job.
Right. So let's start with the fist. What kinds does the book outline?
It highlights the straight fist, that's figure 13. Pretty standard, 4 fingers curled tight. Thumb presses on the index and middle knuckles. Your basic striking fist.
Makes sense.
Then there's the heart-penetrating fist, figure 14, like the name suggests, mainly for striking the chest area. The key difference is the index finger knuckle protrudes a bit, making the strike more focused.
Ooh, pinpoint accuracy. The names are definitely descriptive. What about palm techniques?
Quite a few distinct palm forms are detailed, yeah. Each designed for different things: striking, pushing, deflecting, you name it.
Okay.
There's the willow leaf palm, figure 15, 4 fingers together, slightly curved, thumb tucked in. Then the 8-shaped palm, figure 16. Fingers spread open, slightly extended, thumb stretched out, wider surface.
Okay.
The tiger's claw palm, figure 17, is pretty cool. 5 fingers separated, strongly bent at the knuckles like a tiger's claw. You can see how that's for gripping, tearing, maybe?
Yeah, that looks like you could do some damage.
Designed for seizing and controlling, for sure. Then there's the eagle's claw palm, figure 18, also for gripping and locking. Little and ring fingers drawn in, index and middle slightly separated, angled inward makes a strong hook shape.
Another claw.
And finally, the finger's clamp palm, figure 19. 5 fingers spread, palm slightly drawn in, creates a concave shape for trapping or clamping. So you see each palm has a very specific structure, specific use.
Absolutely. The level of detail just in the hands is amazing. And you mentioned a hook hand, too.
Yes, another fundamental form. There's the standard hook hand, figure 20, wrist bent sharply, 5 fingers draw in naturally, fingertips together, often used for hooking attacks or generating a whipping force.
Okay.
And then super relevant to mantis boxing is the mantis hook, figure 21, sometimes called the mantis claw.
Ah, the namesake.
Right. Wrist is bent upwards. Ring and little fingers bend to the palm. Forefinger and middle finger also bent in. Thumb tip presses on the middle joint of the forefinger. It very distinctly mimics the mantis's grasping legs. Crucial for the style's unique trapping and hooking.
That's so distinctive. You can really
Yeah.
see the direct mantis influence there.
Okay, so with these basic stances and hand forms understood, are we ready to finally get into the white ape giving presents to the mother routine itself?
We are. With these foundations in mind, the routine's structure and movements should make a lot more sense. The book breaks the whole thing down into 4 distinct sections.
4 sections, all right. What's the focus of the first one?
Section 1 is titled Preparatory Posture to Kick and Pounce. Starts, logically, with the preparatory posture, setting your stance, your focus,
Okay.
followed by Mantis close up 2 hands, likely a gathering or defensive move typical of the style. Then White Ape comes out of the cave, evokes that agility, the emergence we talked about. After that, mouth-locking hammer, and Black Tiger draws out heart. Figure 11 in the book actually shows the start of Black Tiger draws out heart. You can see the stance and hand form.
Black Tiger draws out heart. These names are so vivid. What comes next in section 1? Next up are left wrap and right snap hammer, done twice, emphasizing that sequence, followed by circle hammer from leaky base, suggesting a circular strike from a low stance.
Okay.
Then grab hands 3 times in jade ring step, indicating grabs combined with specific footwork. And section 1 finishes with kick and pounce with double call, sounds dynamic, a kick, a pounce, and maybe a kai or shout.
Definitely sounds like an active opening. What about section 2? What's the theme there?
Section 2 is turn body to left wrap. This part focuses more on turning movements and continues that wrapping technique. It includes turn body and circle right hammer.
Right, turning and striking.
Then brush inward and grab hand 3 times, maybe defensive, redirecting into grabs. Then crotch uppercutting hammer, upward strike from low down. And it ends with another left wrap and right snap hammer, linking back, reinforcing that technique. It's shorter than section 1. Seems to emphasize transitions, maybe some counters.
Interesting how the names almost tell a mini story.
Yeah.
What's in section 3?
Section 3, turn body to help elbow. This introduces elbow techniques, continues the turning theme, starts with turn body, swing, hack, and circle hammer. Sounds complex.
Yeah, a lot going on there.
Followed by step forward, swing back, and circle hammer. Again, mixing footwork and strikes. The core move here is help elbow, clearly an elbow strike or block.
Makes sense.
After that, we see left wrap and right snap hammer. Again, must be important.
This seems like it.
And section 3 finishes with grab hand 3 times in jade ring step, which we also saw in section 1. A recurring motif, maybe a key transition.
Right, recurring movements probably help with the flow, like you said.
Right.
Which brings us to the final section, section 4.
Yes, section 4. Mouth locking hammer to closing form. This wraps it all up. Starts with mouth locking hammer, again, significant move, maybe used differently here.
Okay.
Then step forward to hack and snap, forward move, hacking, snapping actions. Then we get Mantis with 1,000 eyes.
Intriguing name.
Yeah. The book shows this too. Figure 61 is the start, figure 63, another position within it. The name just evokes that sense of like total awareness, multi-directional defense, very Mantis style.
Mantis with 1,000 eyes sounds like complete alertness. What comes after that?
After that, cover with yang palm and jade ring step, defensive palm, that specific footwork again, followed by thrust hammer, a direct, powerful strike.
Thick.
Then the routine moves towards the end with turn body and close up 2 hands, probably a concluding, gathering kind of move. And finally, it culminates in the closing form.
That's finale.
Exactly. A set sequence signifying the routine is finished, brings a sense of completion, balance.
It sounds like an incredibly structured, detailed sequence. And you said the book has pictures for all of this.
Absolutely. Detailed illustrations for every single action, pages 93 through 100. It's a complete visual guide sequence, stances, hand forms, everything for the White Ape routine. Invaluable if you want to learn or really understand it.
So to kind of wrap up our deep dive into this specific routine, White Ape giving presents to the mother, Well, it's clearly not just random moves.
Not at all.
It's deeply rooted in Shaolin history and the specific character of seven-star Mantis boxing.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the stances giving power and agility, the variety of hand forms for different jobs, and that structured four-section sequence.
Exactly. It really shows off the style's hallmarks, that mix of grace and power, the smooth transitions between long and short range, the whole body working together, and those unique mantis-inspired hooking and trapping moves.
It's quite a testament to the depth in traditional martial arts.
For sure.
And really, when you think about the incredible detail we just scratched the surface of, in just one routine, the tiny differences in stances, hand shapes, the order of moves, it makes you wonder, what other profound insights could we get from studying traditional martial arts more deeply?
Mm.
Not just about fighting, but maybe about human history, different philosophies, even just what the human body is capable of. It's definitely something to mull over after we finish here today.
Indeed. It really brings up that question about the the vast knowledge, the practical wisdom that's preserved and passed down through these ancient traditions.